the West Coast has moved to an international fire code standard. Going back, a decade ago, you were just required to have a double wall tank to store diesel. Now, to store anything over 60 gallons, you may be required to have a UL 2085, which is a 2-hour fire guard, which typically means you have a tank within a tank plus a concrete lining to protect the fuel from fire for up to 2 hours of direct contact with flames. This has raised the cost of installing tanks in yards. Now, in Oregon, depending on the local jurisdiction, you have a fire marshal's checklist you typically start with. The Oregon State Fire Marshal has been very collaborative, depending on the property, access to the public, fencing, distances, those types of things, to allow for a waiver for UL 142 tanks, the standard double wall, to help with that project. So if you were looking at installing diesel on your site, you're seeking to actually build your own card lock or your own refueling infrastructure, we are up to speed on Oregon Fire Code and the various municipalities, how they kind of approach it, and we're there to help you with that install to get you in bulk fuel if you want it.